Yo, 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 and away we go. And oh my God. Do we have anything to talk about this week? Like, I don't know, chat. Like, this seems to be the absolute craziest week in the history of AEW. Like, top to bottom, from all the scuttlebutt to all the drama to everybody all confused about today's card. Like, right now, the card's getting filled out as we speak. Like, literally, Tony Khan's sending out graphics by the minute here as to what tonight's AEW Dynamite card's going to be. And I know people are freaking out about this. Why are you doing this? I'm like, Tony Khan said last week that if anybody wants to take this Wednesday or next Wednesday off due to the death of Wyndham Rotunda or Bray Wyatt or Terry Funk, this Wednesday was to allow people to grieve. Next Wednesday apparently is the wake. And people are taking up that offer. So I am actually very happy with Tony Khan about what he's doing at this point. So, but hey, great to see everybody here. We got lots of topics to talk about tonight. So first of all, thank you. We've made it through another month here. I want to give a big thank you to the Pint on White for being our host site for our All Out or All In. Wow, we got enough pay-per-views here. We're gonna have to get the stream. The All In London show this past Sunday. Lots of fun there. Lots of happiness to be had for the card. Everybody had a great time from what I saw, and it is a fun time to watch wrestling with friends. And just as much as you see stupidity or all the drama that goes on, just sitting back for 4 hours to watch wrestling with friends, it just feels good. I think especially it just makes you feel good. And to me, that's what wrestling's all about. Like, I know earlier this week, I got a little fired up over some of the stuff that's been said. And because I've been on a different part of the business than a lot of people, like I have been working with promoters, working with bookers, and I know a lot of people are complaining about why is this match get bumped or that match get bumped. And it almost made me forget about what it's like to be a fan. I really, truly do appreciate what it's like to be a fan, because I'm no longer... I can't say confidently that I'm just a fan. I've been on that other side, so I sort of empathize with bookers. Like, I was listening to a podcast this week, the official Sidecast table with on Mike McGuire's channel. They had his color commentators for Dungeon Pro are the hosts there, and it got me thinking listening to them, because they were talking about the Texas Chainsaw match that we had just a couple weeks ago here on Dynamite. And logistically, it was Hey, Zodiac. Now, I would say some of you might have to go back. I didn't say anything groundbreaking here. Biggest thing I said right off the bat was the fact that people need to give Tony Khan a break about the booking this week, because he offered time off for his entire roster for this Wednesday and next Wednesday if they want it, because of the Rotunda passing this week. And I believe the wake is next Wednesday, so they have the option of missing out. So people need to relax the fact that Tony Khan doesn't have a card, because he didn't know everybody was going to be here until pretty much last minute. Because as much as we say we're going to get, sometimes people just can't go on. They need to grieve for a little bit. And then I just wanted to say that I do appreciate the amount of fandom that a lot of people have when it comes to different sets of matches and different causes that have been coming up over the last week. Like, I have a tendency sometimes to forget the fact that I've worked on multiple sides of the business, so I can sort of empathize. There's a difference between what I want and understanding why things are done the certain way they are. one of the examples I was bringing up is the Texas Chainsaw match that was done a couple weeks ago here on Dynamite. That was put in a main event spot because somebody paid for it. And I was listening to Mike McGuire's podcast here on this past Saturday, or it would have been last Saturdays. I was listening to it this week. I'm a little behind stuff, but anyway. And they didn't realize that the Texas Chainsaw Massacre was actually a video game. They thought it was actually, they were talking about why isn't this in Texas, blah, blah, blah. They could have been doing it for humor. They could have been doing it intentionally. Either way. And the other one that I bring up, because I want to go both sides equally here. The biggest complaint coming out of SummerSlam was the fact that the women's matches got bumped and they had that Slim Jim Battle Royal during the show. Well, Slim Jim does not pay to be on a pre-show. Slim Jim doesn't pay to be put on a show that's available on YouTube, where they could just put their money directly into YouTube and get a lot more uses for the same amount of money. We also had like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game. They paid to be the main event of that show. And they're probably willing to pay more money to be in that spot versus going earlier in the card like that. So, and simply put, you have to look at some matches and just determine, okay, which match are you going to take out? Because you know that if you're paying this money to be a part of it, just like the Mountain Dew match, we're talking about Wyndham here. His last match, the Mountain Dew match against LA Knight. They paid to be on that card. Yes, it was absolutely garbage. You got to remember in this case, and I think a lot of people forget, this is a carny business. It's for money more than anything else. I'll tell you this right now. If there's a way that somebody's going to give them, say, $2 million to work a program with two absolute dog crap wrestlers involved in, and they specifically asked for those wrestlers, you bet they're going to build the 3-week program to get those two dog face wrestlers into a main event of something if they're going to pay for it. It's amazing what money will do for you in some cases. It's like, I don't want to diminish the value of Saraya and her championship win, but look at that reaction they got at All In for Saraya winning the championship. And the funny thing is, I was sitting there with one of the local production guys here in town at the Pint on White here, and we were both chuckling that Saraya's dad looked just like a promoter that just got an extra exposure for his promotion. And like, not that many people know about WAR, but the fact that he just looked like it just clicked on. He looked like a proud papa as well. Absolutely, he did. But one thing you got to remember, and this is one thing I'm probably going to go home with more than anything here on this topic about all this, you got to remember there's like 300 different ways to skin a cat when it comes to booking a card. Do I think that AEW needs to do a better job with the women's division? Abso-freaking-lutely. Without a doubt, no questions asked. Tony Khan has been doing an absolute job at booking the women's division. After they announced Kris Statlander versus Ruby Soho on All Out rather than an All In, I don't know if you could seriously book anything in there that would, on the main card, that would fit in properly with all the matches that were there. And that is all Tony Khan's fault for the fact that he needed to book better. I'm not saying that I'm not saying that we're not in a position here where the women can't be on the card, but they need to be built a hell of a lot stronger. Throwing them into a contenders battle royal was one of the suggestions I heard prior to this. Doing that would actually just make it feel like they were just there. So what kind of scuttlebutt do you want to hear? To hear that they were skipped, or to hear that they they were forgettable. And it was just there to be there. But now, I can't believe I've actually spent 10 minutes going over all this, and we're just getting into Dynamite now. I haven't even had a chance to talk about the preview for the card tonight. So we're getting Penta versus Orange Cassidy. Winner gets Mox on Wednesday. Or on Sunday, sorry. We're getting Mox actually is taking on Kommander in a match tonight. We got... I was looking over this earlier. Eddie Kingston defending the New Japan Strong Openweight Championship against Wheeler Yuta. So they're still keeping that feud warm. And we're also getting Britt Baker, Hikaru Shida. Oh, here it is. Kris Statlander, Britt Baker, and Hikaru Shida versus Nyla Rose, Emi Sakura, and Marina Shafir. We're also getting the Outcasts are getting together trying to solve their differences, as well as we're going to hear from Adam Cole, which I'm suspecting that they're going to get a rematch going up for Sunday. After everything that's happened, we are going to get a rematch for the AEW Championship, and that's where we're going to get a turn. I said it so many times. I still think it's going to be the case, especially now that there's a high probability that a certain Charles Mark Punk will not be on the card this Sunday. Because apparently the rumor is that Starks versus Punk was supposed to main event that one. So Moxley versus Kommander to start. I love it. Do you think he's saving ideas for the women for the possibility of Mercedes Moné coming to AEW? Yes and no. Yes and no. I do know that he's going to have to make it a big deal for Mercedes to be there. But also at the same fact, if he doesn't book the entire division strong, Mercedes might just come in for a couple times. I know that he wants to keep it there, yeah. CM Punk, man, I don't care if it's Perry's fault. You can't be the competent. Here's the thing. You have somebody who's a criminal. Like, I'm not saying CM Punk is, but hear me out on the explanation. You got somebody who was guilty of theft somewhere. And did his time, got through it. He's been living a clean life for 10 years. Next thing you know, something's been robbed from a place that the person's at. It wasn't him that did it. But who are the first eyes going to go to? Like, I get it. CM Punk's got to know that he's got the attention around him. But whether everything's right, wrong, or otherwise, everybody's going to create a script to make it look good for them. Punk seems like a jackass. Yeah, Darth Emick, I don't know. I just... By the way, good to see everybody here tonight. Glad to see everybody filing in. If you haven't got a chance, if you weren't here early, please feel free to go back and check out my comments at the beginning of the stream, back on the VOD or on the YouTube later, because I have a lot of feelings about, a lot about the internet scuttlebutt that's been going up here the last week, and that's the reason I didn't stream on Monday, because all the internet comments, it seemed like everybody decided that they had to be right no matter what. And to me, that just... Ugh. Punk has to change his mentality from being a locker room leader to being a locker room target. It seems there's quite a bit of people who just want to take him down. I don't even think it's that. I really don't think it's that. I just think it's... You ever have that coworker at work that you just seem to have to walk around on eggshells with? Because you don't know when they're going to snap? I can say that I'm pretty much one of them at times. We all get that once in a while, but... Other than Soraya's winning, I get it. But other than that, I loved All In. Thought it was one of their pay-per-views. But yeah, like... I love the passion there, Jagger, too. And for me... I still think Baker getting her roses at that event would have been great. But it almost, like I was saying with when it comes to Baker, it's almost that Undertaker effect that I have with Rey Fenix. That she is the division, but she doesn't need the title. And Baker's just got this level that she's on compared to all the other ladies. I can see why Saraya has it. It could be a 7-day reign for all we know. I can also understand why the match was only 7 minutes, because you watch when there's extended time involving Saraya being an active member in a match. Like, I don't count tag matches as much because, well, tag matches you're intentionally on the apron, and in AEW you don't have that anymore. They make a point of it not to have those 2-person matches in the middle of a 3-way or a 4-way. Gosh dang it, Kommander. Make it short, make it effective, make it finished. Like, I really enjoyed the women's match, to be perfectly honest. I know a lot of people are complaining it was too short, but I don't know. The kind of story they were telling, I don't think they needed any more time to do it. Would I love to see him go half an hour? Absolutely. Do I think they needed to? No. Sort of like the coffin match. I think they probably went closer to 15, 20 minutes. They could have done it in 10 to 15. I think they could have shortened it up. And I personally... Whoops. Moxley just slipped there. Yeah, Moxley's like, oh, I'll just flip it and dip it to hell with that. Do you think we see more wooden skewers at any point moving forward? I don't. What do I think we'll see him, but I don't think we'll see him with any regularity. That is a pay-per-view spot. That is not a... to me, that's a pay-per-view spot. That's not a regular match spot. If they start doing that on a regular basis, it takes the shock effect away, right? Sort of like we don't see a pizza cutter, and I wish we did right now because we just got a Taco Bell commercial where they slice up a quesadilla. But I digress. Where else? What do you think about the women's match? It feels like a crowd was way more into the Stadium Stampede than they expected than all four women. I don't necessarily feel they fell flat. Saraya's entrance, or Saraya, sorry, her entrance with Queen blaring, which a lot of people don't realize that's the song that they came out to on the indie circuit. The whole Night Family. That's what they used. So, yeah, I felt that went well. They gave Hikaru Shida a standing ovation along with a lot of the cheers in the back. It might not have been a mic'd well. I think Baker got a hell of an entrance as well. And Toni Storm, I think a lot of people were into it. I think they didn't realize what her gimmick actually is outside of the Outcasts, where once she played that role in the Mildred Burke movie, which is coming out soon, she's just taken that whole gimmick and ran with it, right? But can I say I absolutely love the production value at All In as well? With the... I know that the Tron is a lot different than what you see in a typical WWE show. Outside of the Puerto Rico, London, we're just going to put a wall up, put a picture on a wall kind of thing. The tunnel camera was absolutely amazing. I love the fact that they actually fixed certain things in there, so... All right, Zodiac. I'll Darth Mick, I'll get to your point in a second here. Since we're already talking about the women's matches, let's get Zodiac's comment in here. Nothing wrong with Saraya winning it all in. It's not like every promotion knows when to swap titles at an event in a rare appearance in a wrestler's home country. You know what? It's for the pop. It's what they do with it now that matters. Like, if we're going to get like the match that's rumored, I don't want to spoil too many people, but I think it's going to be set up tonight involving Saraya. I could see that being developed out of two segments that are happening tonight. So, shots fired to Clash of the Castle. Let's give you that. Let's give you that. I'll agree with you on that one. Like, but Tony Khan's more of a fan. I didn't even think about the Drew McIntyre situation there until you mentioned, but yeah, that makes perfect sense. My low points on the show. Well, if you guys know me here, I'm not a deathmatch guy, so I would have to say the Stadium Stampede in many cases. I was eating nachos and, nachos and salsa, watching that stuff, just, ugh, yeah. Other than that, there was just a lot of great spots going on there. Personally, I think the casket match did take a little bit longer than it should have. I laughed at the fact that Swerve's rap coming into the ring absolutely fell flat because nobody knew exactly who he was. Because the rapper they got to sing his song, well, he could be famous in a few years. He isn't now. While on the opposite side, you had Seek It Destroy by Metallica. Yeah, Jaeger, I'm with you. Especially that last spot when the coffin was already broken. He landed with his back in the crevice that was standing out. Jesus! Kommander getting inventive here. Level TK will go to the piggy bank to get songs for big moments. Yeah, absolutely. All right, Kommander doing a little bit more than I expected here. But yeah, TK, the final countdown for Danielson. Seek and Destroy for Sting. All right, here we go. The 12-6. We're almost done here on this one. It's been a good 15 minutes, though. He's tapping out. Oh, now he went to the R-bar. Nice. Happy Grado got his moment. I would have loved if they would have been able to get Madonna, speaking of music, for that. But from what I heard, and this is going back to 2015 with the Impact Wrestling taking their Bound for Glory over to England, I heard Madonna threw such a number out that it would be absolutely stupid for any promoter to think about it. Because she just wasn't into the wrestling at all. I can't confirm it, but I do remember there was a petition going around and everything to allow it to happen. And Impact just said, no, we're not paying for it. Granted, Impact's cheaper than heck at that time, but they've actually announced, Impact Wrestling just announced that they're going to be increasing their production budget. Sorry, that was a lot of talking. I had to take a little drink here to while while they're doing this nice promo for Orange here, because I got a feeling this is the end of the road for the championship. Got the stretch out here. Hey, you know what? This is perfect because I wanted to show you guys something. I'll stretch. But here is the brand new Remember the Game t-shirt celebrating 5 years. Congratulations to Adam and all the work that he does. I took the gray. It's one thing I got to learn to do a little bit more of is stretch out here, but no, thank you for that, Zodiac. OC loses tonight or all out? I think he loses all out. Because everybody wants to see Moxley in Orange. Oh, God, here we go. What's going on? Oh, so we're going to get... another BC over to an old BC club versus a new one again? So we're going to get a 8-man here or what? Oh, now, so the tag titles aren't going to be defended on the pay-per-view. That is funny. Okay, so this is how they can end up making the BC a little more credible here. So how many titles end up getting defended on the pay-per-view? I'm assuming we got to get MJF and... Hey, Andre, how you doing, my friend? We're just hanging out. We've been talking a lot tonight about what happened on Sunday, and we just had Moxley versus Kommander. We just had a couple promos. Now we're setting up... I am so glad we're not... What's happening with the tag titles? FTR still has them. They're doing an 8-man tag with FTR and the Bucks versus the Bang Bang Gang. Cash belongs to the Bang Bang Gang. I was waiting for somebody to bring that up. It would be, you know... Once again, like I've said before... you got to be careful when you're dealing with these laws here. Allegedly. Of course, got to throw that word around there. But in Florida, from what I've been told, you could say that you have a gun and it automatically brings up a 3rd-degree assault or attempted assault, whatever he got charged with. He could just for having the gun. Needs to be managed by Armed Anderson. He already has been. Oh no, that was Tully. Sorry. You can bring Arn back for it, but Glock Anderson. Yep. It's going to be interesting to see because I do believe tomorrow is the last day of Brock's contract. So I don't know if they renewed it or if Brock and Arn are going to be sent on their merry way and say thank you. But I do believe Arn sent out an update saying Brock's contract's down at the end of the month, which, yeah, it's tomorrow. I can't believe it myself. This month has just flown right by. But yeah, we're going to get a lot of matches just thrown in here. As I said last week, nothing against the Guns or people who load them. But if you're not a responsible loader, yeah. I will completely agree with you, Zodiac. Like, I know in Canada the gun laws are a whole lot different here. And, you know, everybody talks about how you need gun laws. And as far as I'm concerned, it's sort of like the AEW locker room in the back. You really don't need a law to protect you until you have true idiots. And now it appears that we're getting some true idiots shown in the back. Yeah, he's not been found guilty. Yeah. I honestly, I could see this getting plead out just for Tony Khan to make it go away. Oh, in general, absolutely. No. Here's the thing. No matter what happens, like I'll be frank. When it comes, well, I'll be Mike, but I'll be frank here in this case. When it comes to the whole Jack Perry CM Punk thing, it's not a one-way street. It's a two-way street. Perry's being a little immature, and Punk is being a little immature too, but different levels of maturity based on their ages.
But I'm better than you. And you know it.
Jagger, don't call me Shirley. Now I won't call you Shirley. But I thank you, Jagger, for the resub once again. 15 months. Like, you guys are up through the roof. Uh-oh. They're showing the replays here of what happened with Tony and Saraya. I do love the ending of that women's title match. The fact that Baker had the hold fixed on and she couldn't get herself out of it before Saraya made the cover. Like, I don't really care if she loses on Sunday. Like, she could lose without getting pinned as well. Good old Mildred Burke. My God, she looks like she's either stoned or dead. Oh my God, you want to talk about somebody going psycho? All right, so I could see that going a million different ways when it comes to Tony here, but I do think she's going to be involved this week with the title match. Because they got to get a women's title match and a male title match as well. But yeah, like I was saying just before, like, guys like Jericho can only do so much to stand up to this. Because a guy like Punk, he needs to realize what kind of level he's at. And the fact that this isn't 2002 where you can throw somebody's gear out of the locker room and tell them to change outside. In 2023, people talk to each other to settle their issues once in a while, you know? Really warming up to Tony's super old maid Karen personality. Well, that's, like I said, it's just an extension of Mildred Burke. Like, I can't wait. I can't wait to see that movie when it comes out. Because I heard that is many ways what Mildred was like. So, like, just reading up to the lead up to the movie, right? I heard Camille was part of it, who is now a free agent. Former NWA Women's Champion. Shout out to Kenzie Page, by the way, for winning the NWA Women's Championship on Sunday night. I know the biggest talking point of that show was the fact that Tyrus is no longer in wrestling. Well, at least in NWA. Anybody else that hires him is an idiot. I'll call that right now. When he goes on live TV and says he'll beat his kids if they identify anything but what their birth gender was. I'm actually surprised to see Jericho here. He's got a tour in Europe right now. You know what? WWE can fire their own shots. I don't mind AEW throwing those shots out because they're actually facts and they can be backed up. And that's the thing about 2023 is the fact it's the world of facts. So this could be either a full Sammy babyface, I think Jericho takes a beating tonight, goes away for a bit. I thought he was supposed to go away already. I honestly think the loss to Ospreay would have been better. Whoa. Folks, maybe... Did anybody else notice the fact that Sammy came out of the face entrance? Not the heel entrance like he normally would? Or has that been something he's been doing for a while? There were certain parts all in that felt like TK showing those, like Ospreay and Monet, what to expect if they sign with AEW. Yeah. I'm with you on that, Jaeger. And I think the fact that they did a couple random shots of Monet in the crowd and the reaction, I think that was intentional for Monet to see that, yeah, she will get this reaction if she works here. I had a feeling this is going to be a heavy promo-laden show, and it seems that's going to be the case here. Well, at least he's apologizing now. Like, I don't know what's going to happen here. And the little push isn't going to bring it up, but something else will. I want to see Osprey and Guevara on Sunday. Oh God, now we're going. This is where we're going on this? Oh, here we go. I like this. I like this a lot. Could we get Jericho versus Sammy on Sunday? Uh-huh. Wow, here we go. We're definitely getting Jericho Guevara on Sunday. We have to out of this. Wow, here we go. Guevara is such a great talker compared to, there's like 3 tiers of talkers, and I think Guevara is right in that second tier, right below MJF and Cole. Yeah, here we go. Back and forth. Cheap pop. A great jib cut, yeah. I got a good haircut too. Come on now. All right. You're going to regret it regardless. Come on now. No, we're not. Let's go. Crowd's booing it. Oh, they're in Indy next week. Sammy's got to hit him. Now, if I was smart, I'd grab the mic and I'd be like, next week we could start doing that run. Tonight? This Sunday? I want some respect from you. Well, I guess we're not getting that. Okay. Hey, Astrid, how you doing there tonight? Been having a lot of fun breaking down this promo-heavy episode of Dynamite tonight. One thing I have to say, and I know we were talking about it earlier, and I want to make sure... I know you know this already, but Toni Storm and her new gimmick, my God, is it so much fun. She's got that Mildred Burke gimmick going on right now. It's absolutely amazing. Just tired? Yeah. So now we get Yuta versus Kingston for the New Japan Strong Championship. Love the new entrance of the gimmick. Yeah. I hope they keep it. Like, I hope they try and keep as much as they can with it. But the fact that she's gone with the Mildred Burke persona, basically, I want to see... It's making me want to go see that movie when it comes out. The Mildred Burke biography. Now, here's a question that maybe you can answer for me, Astrid. You probably have more an idea on the scene than I do. Do you have any idea what's happening with Camille from NWA now that she's lost the championship? Oh, Jesus. I forgot where you were located for 2 minutes here. And of course, power go out or anything, or... I just want to give our thoughts to everybody involved in the hurricanes. Whether you're in Maui, whether you're in Orlando. No idea. I hope it's... Yeah. But, yeah, whatever part of the country you're in, whatever country you're in, with all the distress... Florida's Big Ben got slammed. Yeah, I saw a tweet earlier today about somebody just taking their paddleboard out for a little ride down the main roads, right? So, of course, you're going to see one of those every time something like this happens. Couldn't believe she lost, but hopefully something bigger coming. Well, let's put it this way. Basically, put Kenzie Page in a position where she's going to be with whoever beats Roman Reigns is going to be. Could be very ways the way that Brock Lesnar was when he beat The Undertaker at Mania. Camille had that reputation earned for many years. One thing I do appreciate here is that Kingston just looks that much stronger when he's got the New Japan belt with him. Oh, Jesus. And he doesn't even give him the satisfaction of getting a 1 count there. That's hilarious. So, if you haven't heard, later on tonight, we are going to be getting a 6-woman tag with Kris, Britt, and Hikaru Shida versus Nyla, Marina Shafir, and Emi Sakura. Oh, I thought we were getting a picture-in-picture, so I muted my TV, and all of a sudden, ugh. Thought that was a band, not two. It's going to be nice to see Emi on the regular TV. She's been doing so great on ROH right now. I know she's in that list of wrestlers they'd be very disappointed to not have on the card on Sunday, but one thing I will say, I am glad that we're going back there next year. I know there's only one chance to make a first impression, or two if you talk to Tony Khan about this show, but BCC feel like a Jericho faction where they're always portrayed as a main event faction, but they're really just kind of there. When it comes to the BCC, like, do you want them in the... Like, they were in the main event scene for the better part of, what, a year and a half? Especially with Danielson around, right? Because you know as soon as Danielson comes back, he's going to be in that title scene again. Especially if they switch the title, like, off Adam Cole. Or off to Adam Cole. I love to see how the crowd is nice and polite to Wheeler Yuta once again. But right now, most of your factions, like, who do you really have as a top faction right now, like, in general, in AEW? I don't think you have a top faction. Not even the elite or top faction right now, because, well, Omega's dealing with his own problems. He's on a, 3-match losing streak? Leading into his match Sunday with Takeshita? Like, I would have to say, up until what happened on Sunday, the most dominant faction in AEW might very well have been the Outcasts. Because they're running rampant over the division they're in. Like, the BCC keep winning, but at the same time, what's it leading to? That's the thing. Like, nice job, Kingston. Just say to hell with it and send her to the floor. Send him to the floor. Oh, God. Eddie Kingston with a freaking dive? I got a feeling there might be a title change here tonight. Just so when we get to All Out, we can get that vision of all three guys having championships. And it sort of sets up Danielson for when he comes back to get involved in the AEW title picture, if there's a title change. Because I'll tell you right now, if the title is still on MJF when Danielson gets back, there's no rivalry there. Because they've already dealt with that one. They're not going to do it again. Maybe I just got spoiled by the NWO era. If there's a faction that's dominating most of the show, then it doesn't feel impactful. Other hand, you know what? It's 6 one way, half a dozen the other. It's all about how it's booked. Here's the thing. You know, it can get boring, get successful. It comes down to one simple fact, and this is what we were talking about earlier when it comes to those bot matches, like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre match, the Slim Jim match, the Mountain Dew match. is what they're doing making you want to come back and watch the show? And I hope it's not just because of my exquisite words. And yes, I'll use this right now for that. That is the reason that you're coming back to watch Dynamite every week. I hope it's because of the programming as well. Because it is fun to watch. I know we do have a tendency to get off topic quite a bit. But at the same time, they're trying to sell a leg kick out that wasn't a kick out. Nice. Uh-oh. It is New Japan, so you're going to chop everyone all to hell, right? But Kingston looks like he's out. Oh, never mind. Kingston oh. Cameras tried to hit it. Cameras tried to hide it. Oh, there's two. That should be it. Yeah, you could see Wheeler right at the very end. It sucks, but it sucks they do it, but I love the tradition. You could just see a mouth, thank you. Just as the final count was going on there. Who is he? Oh, he's calling out Claudio. He's calling out Claudio. Claudio's not even giving him the time of day. He's just coming to take care of Wheeler. Claudio, that is a smart way of doing it. Claudio wouldn't even give him the time of day. Wow. How amazing is that, watching that? Just Eddie getting the support that he did. So, Chad, I have to ask you, most of you guys watched All In already. What did you think of that finish to the main event? Like the double pin, which technically was a double clothesline that killed everyone. So they both got knocked out because of the finishing move. And the kangaroo kick. What did you guys think of the finish? The double count out and then into the small package. By the way, if you guys watched the preview show, I called a finish like that where it was going to be out of nowhere and everybody was going to try and cheat and nobody wanted to cheat. Worry for people at. Was worried for safety after. Yeah, fair enough. If they didn't restart the match, yeah, there would have been a soccer riot. So they're gonna make him defend the ROH titles, but not the AEW title. That. I don't know. This gets me worried a little bit, guys. Like, what championship are you going to have main event the pay-per-view? What match are you going to have to main event the pay-per-view? Could this be where they just say to hell then we'll put the women on the paper at main event? I don't think so. Not when they haven't announced the actual match yet. I'd love to see it, don't get me wrong. But yeah, like we're not going to have like our top male title we're going to have defended on the show is going to be the international title. Like if it's MJF Cole tag title match, I think it has to be them. They're going to run it twice like that? I don't think so. Because, yeah, they're running a tournament to see who's going to be MJF's next opponent. I almost think they have to... well, I'd love it for them to be them, but they got to do more than that. Like, I think they got to have... They're going to end up having to put a third women's match on their minimum if they're going to put the women main event. I don't think you do that whole show and then have the women as a main event at the end. We'll have to see how it goes because, yeah, they got 2 shows basically to identify what the card's going to be. And, yeah, we have a limited roster here tonight. If you guys didn't hear earlier last week, following the passing of Wyndham Rotunda, Tony Khan has given permission to anybody on the roster who needs it to take this Wednesday and next Wednesday off. So this is why you're seeing the matches come out very late, as well as some odd ways to book matches. So that anything they can't, and anybody that didn't show up tonight, they're going to have to announce it on Saturday, which that's going to be a very hard sell too, because we got Backlash on Saturday, which pay-per-view versus Collision with no matches announced. I wonder who's going to win that one. In Canada, it's easy. We have to pay to watch Collision, or we watch it at 10 o'clock Mountain Time, midnight Eastern. And the first weekend of college football, which, yeah, I know you guys were talking about that last week. College football actually starts tomorrow, so I was watching a preview show. There's like 13,000 games tomorrow, so. Well, that's a little definitive statement. I would have been like, no, I'm here to... Looks bigger and more red. No, that's the amount of bronzer he puts on. Okay, so there we go. That's where we're going to get our... Aussie Open's probably going to get their rematch out of that. I'd love to see Adam Cole get back into this tournament, win it, and then they have the rematch at Grand Slam, right? That would be pretty freaking awesome if you ask me. It's interesting that Adam Cole's coming out by himself, right? Sorry, it's right now it's currently plus 26 here, Celsius, which I do believe is low 80s. Lower mid 80s for you Americanites here. So I got to make sure I stay hydrated through the whole thing here because, you know. I really wish that, you know, there was some way we could see a rematch on Sunday. $26 sounds warm AF. Yeah, it is. Trust me. One thing I'm happy about is the fact temperature might go down. The bad thing is the smoke's picking up tomorrow. They're saying Thursday and Friday in Edmonton might be the worst days of smoke we've seen all year. And for an asthmatic, it's not great. All right, all right. Oh, and just to clarify, Zodiac, when a lot of people are used to 80s and that, we're used to maybe 60s. So are we going to get Roddy out for this? It's funny how his neck's bad and so's Roddy's. I swear to God, this should be Roddy's new entrance music. Adam! Adam! Oh, so we're going to actually get the details about all this. Yeah, that ain't going to work. All right. I can see where the whining comes in and fits in rather well. Oh, yeah, there's your cheap pop. Well, that guy in the crowd thought it was number 11. Oh, God. Taven's about to speak. All right. One thing I do appreciate about a good story like this, every villain thinks they're the hero of their own story. And this is living proof of it right here. Ooh. Villains usually think they're the victim. Okay. Ha! Okay. Alrighty. I'll beat MJF with a broken freaking neck. That's a funny thing. Cole's right. He hasn't done anything wrong here. Like, he's getting pulled 16 ways of sideways. Everybody's expecting something to happen and nothing's happening. Shivani with the wham-ambulance comment. I love it. I got to think that Cole's going to enter that tournament too. Is the crowd cheering for Cole or cheering for something else? At All Out. I love Excalibur's. Yeah, nope. Toady. Gotta get this right, Toady. So they're putting Cassidy and Penta at main, so that's fine. I give them 20 minutes. We might have 2 segments involving the women here coming up here back to back. Oh. You notice that they're stretching out promos tonight? I got a feeling there's quite a lack of wrestlers over at there is quite a few wrestlers that aren't around this week. I'm trying to remember if it's a taped Rampage or a live Rampage this week. I'm almost thinking it's live this week just because they are in Chicago for the entire week, right? Because they're already in Chicago. They're set up, ready to go. The only difference is they're in the Now Arena tonight and Friday, and then Saturday they're at the United Center, and Sunday they're there for sure. Okay, so we're getting the women's tag right at the top of the hour. Wonder if they'll give him some time tonight. I know that some of you guys talked about the reception for Shida not being that much at the pay-per-view. I think it was a lot louder than a lot of people thought. And the fact she got the ability to come into that venue as the champion was, as far as I was concerned, well-deserved. And of course, Baker's in her. Well, I'm not used to seeing her in pants, first of all, but second of all, she's in her Chicago Blackhawks gear. Staring each other down. Could you see a character change for Baker tonight? Or Shida, for that matter? Our Kingdom in the Battle Royal? No. No Penn's love from Britt? Well, you're not going to get... She caters to the city quite a bit. Because I know... Because what? She had red, white, and blue gear on Sunday. So Shafir and Rose are a faction together, and Sakura is just great to have her there, period. Seeing Strand Baker on the same team looks weird. They've always been on opposite ends. Yeah, well, up until Statlander got injured, Baker was a full-fledged heel, right? I don't think I've ever seen a situation where Statlander's been a heel in AEW. They were fighting about who was going to get to start the match. Nice. Oh, so we're going to get the trio's ribbon cutting ceremony? Ah, the two challengers actually having a little cohesion. Oh, she's raking the eyes on one. That's always great. And Baker's always had a bad back, so that makes a lot of sense. And she still has that poor technique. Well, pure technique. I don't want to say poor technique. I want pure technique. Where it still looks a little weird when she does some of her moves. But yeah, once again, like I said at the beginning of the show, and I encourage you guys for all the questions that have been coming up this week and all the frustration going out. I laid out all my thoughts prior to the show tonight on the pre-show here. Do I think Tony Khan needs to book the women's division better? Abso-freaking-lutely. Do I think that he got it right with the 4 people that he had on for the match? Absolutely. Do I wish there were more than one women's match on the card? Absolutely. Based on everything you had, was one match the right amount? I hesitate to say yes because since they moved Statlander and Soho to this Sunday coming up, which I feel is going to be one of the strongest matches on the card personally. Even putting in a battle royal would almost feel like a token match more than anything. And I wouldn't want to see the women just get a token match. I'd like to see them get a match that was probably built by Tony Khan, but I don't. Yeah, it's one of those, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't, but you should be. Tony needs to get better, straight up. But I do like to see that other people are getting a chance to have a chance on Dynamite tonight, given the situation. Like, I wonder if they were actually going to book the Outcast to try and figure things out tonight against Statlander, Soho, and Statlander, Shida, and Baker. Let me get my mouth straight here. Because I could totally see Ruby was probably close with Wyndham, and I'm assuming that Saraya would have been close as well, but if not, still maybe doing tour work for AEW right now. Promotional work. But so far we're rocking 10 minutes, so it is a positive direction so far, and we haven't had the hot tag yet. And from what we've read and what we've heard, Baker's back is just absolutely ugh. All right, we're back from the commercial break finally. Statlander just got the hot tag, which is about perfect here. I would assume by the end of this, Statlander does get the pin on whoever she's going to pin. I think Shafir might be the one that makes sense about that. Unless Soho comes out to do some kind of interference spot, which, like I said, I don't think Soho is here. Jesus. Nice reverse electric chair drop. Okay. That's unique. I like that move there by Sakura and Rose. Uh-oh. Dissension once again. Oh, and here comes Rose with a choke slam. And Shafir sent to the outside. No way. I was going to say, there is no way Statlander does a dive through the ropes here. Off the top, I could believe it, but not through the ropes. Yeah, Shafir, that's the one I would be picking right now. If you're going to put somebody in a pin, that's probably the one you're going to look at. There it is. Wednesday Night Fever, he's calling it. Yeah, because they call it a Saturday Night Fever on Collision. That makes sense. And you really can't call it the Big Bang Catastrophe anymore because that's probably... Oh, Soho is here. Okay. But Soho's still wearing the green. Wonder if that's still meaning that, you know, we're still outcast together. Leave a piece of gum on it just to remember me by. So just a reminder for you guys, right after Payback on Saturday, you can catch myself and Andre C once again getting a preview of the All Out card coming up this Sunday as we're sponsored by Beercade YEG in Edmonton again. We're back to Beercade for one of our last two shows there this year. Is that what we're getting at All Out? You could sign me up for that one. Shane Taylor, Samoa Joe? Or are we getting that on Saturday? Hell yeah! Folks, if you haven't seen Shane Taylor go, that is going to be an insane match. That just lit up my eyes a little bit here. Oh, goody. More Don Callis on our show. I do like this segment. As much as I hate Don Callis, I like seeing this segment here. It's almost as if Takeshita doesn't understand English, but he's still going along with everything that Callis is saying. I know he can understand English, but at the same time, it's just funny that way. Wouldn't it be pretty amazing if they went off the air with a double DQ or a no contest or something, and you get Penta versus Cassidy versus Moxley for the pay-per-view? But I have to say this. Omega versus Takeshita is going to be an absolute banger. I have no doubt about that. I feel that it's going to be one of those that maybe one of those that could take a lot of feelings, take a lot of story, take a lot of time to go through the whole thing here. So, but yeah, while we got a commercial break here and things are starting to settle in a little bit more here, I just want to say thank you guys once again. Like, this has been, I think we've been doing this now for almost 3 years. This every Wednesday night. We've only missed one so far, and that's because I was actually at Dynamite. It's been a fun ride with you guys, hanging out, talking wrestling, talking a whole bunch of crazy stuff. So without you guys, this would be really, really boring. But no, I can't wait to see what happens in the future here. Just a word of note, we are going to be showing all Out at Beercade coming up this Sunday, as well as the Wrestle Dream card that just got announced this weekend. We will be there on October 1st. And then, however, for Full Gear on November 18th, the Saturday, I'll be here. I'll be able to watch it with you guys. We'll be able to watch the pay-per-view together. And, yeah, let's chat about it live as basically the wrap-up of the year for AEW outside of Winter is Coming. But yeah, for the last pay-per-view of the year, since it is a Saturday, we did get a smaller offer to show the show off, and I just didn't feel it'd be a good experience for anybody, so we'll watch it together at home and enjoy it. And I'll be able to scarf down some pizza while we're doing it, so that's always going to be fun. But what are you guys looking forward to here for the rest of the year? Whether it be gaming, whether it be wrestling, whether it be what you expect to see on Sunday, what are you guys looking forward to here? Like, I'm looking forward to a whole bunch of stuff. Like, one thing that popped me today that I don't know if you've seen it, the new Mortal Kombat trailer, Dave Bautista talking about his fandom of Mortal Kombat and how he enjoyed Scorpion, and the rumor that Bautista might get in the game somehow. You knew Trump would get involved somewhere in here, right? Oh, that's what they were talking about. There was some reports coming out that there were going to be new trios titles coming out that are a little more unique. I got a feeling that might be what we got there. Unless there's 3 scissors back there, and that just shuts me up right now. But you can tell right now that, everything's getting stretched. Everything's getting stretched on the show tonight. I know we're a little short on time. Bullshit. Pardon my French, but... cheap pops left, right, and center. Gotta love it. The promo game wasn't exactly Billy Gunn's top technique. Yeah, they did, and it was the biggest piss off of the internet audience that we've seen in a while. When the fact they didn't beat Swerve and Our Glory for the championships. Gotta get the Scissor Me Daddy chance in, of course. The hell? I gotta love the inside humor all the frickin' time. All right, show us the titles. Let's see them. I want to see the new belts. The House of Ass, great. Yeah, no, we gotta find a new chant now, of course. They're getting pink championships. Oh my goodness. Don't chuck that out, Matt. Ah. Is the House of Ass like Ace of Base? You know what that reminds me of Medusa's title. Well, they found a nice little gimmick to go with it there. I don't mind that. Okay. So we're okay, so they're working double duty here. Surprised we didn't get the zoom out on that. All right, custom titles. I wonder how long these will last. I don't know. Personally, my belief is the next team that they are... well, it's also a good way that they don't have to touch the fans, too, I guess. So, oh. So we're going to start writing down the card going up for the next 2 days here. So Excalibur gets into his transmission in the fourth gear when it comes to talking, I bet. Nope. My personal feeling is we're going to get the Guns and Juice are going to be the ones to eventually take the titles off the Acclaimed. Just because... what better way for Billy to retire than to get the titles to his kids? Unintentionally, of course. Sky Blue will... okay. Brian Keith in action on Rampage. Let's go. My goodness, that's going to be fun. This is the match I thought we were going to get tonight. So they're going to throw it on Saturday. That makes a lot of sense. Dax and Jay, okay. Former JS, okay. So they aren't doing any matches to push any more matches on the card. Makes you wonder how many matches they're going to have. So 3. Four. 5. 6. 7. We got a decent card going here. And there's 8. So we're 8 out of 11 right now. So we got some big matches we still got to fill, but makes you almost wonder what they're going to do for those last few matches. Are they waiting for this investigation to go through so that maybe they can get their Punk Starks match here to main event the show? Which, to be perfectly honest, I wouldn't put it out there anyway because you never know what Punk's going to do at this point. Because Punk could always pull an MJF, right? And just, well, whether he threatened to quit or not or whatever, I just mean more about, you know, Jack Perry randomly walked into a camera and started saying stuff. You know, Punk could do the exact same thing. So I got a dumb question for you, chat. Please enlighten me here. And this is all about the continuity part of this world. And I know that, you know, I really shouldn't be thinking this hard about it. Let's go back to All In. Let's go back to the Stadium Stampede match. Penta El Zero Miero goes out, gets carted out, comes back with new music and Penta Oscuro. The whole crowd didn't know what the hell was going on, but I actually had one guy at the bar recognize it, and we finally figured it out. So, you know, when there's a group of 80 people that love wrestling in there and one person figures it out? Don't get me wrong, it broke down about as bad as the ladder did that Penta was trying to use for his Canadian Destroyer. Gimmick your ladders, AEW. Come on now. But now he's coming out in the same gear that he has Penta El Zero, and we're just supposed to say, oh, it's just Penta Miero? Okay, whatever you want to say. Just checking over everything. Thank you. Penta Zero Miero was black and white, and Escudo came back as red, but tonight El Zero Miero is red. That's exactly it, Jaeger. Like, we're just going to have to, you know, a level of disbelief we're going to go. I'm just like, all right, that makes about as much sense as, you know, like I said, sometimes you just got to put your brain, turn it sideways, pull it out of your head, just put it on the shelf and just leave it there for about an hour, hour and a half. So, because usually half an hour of the show makes sense, but they're actually going to give them about 15 minutes by the time all the entrances are done and whatnot for our main event. So, could this be the first time since the pandemic came back that they actually did an entrance before the break, and they're making him wait in the ring for the entire break, a la WWE? Hollywood Penta's black and white, Wolfgang Penta's black and red. I'll give you that one. That's a good point. But I find it interesting that they did this, right? Like they did the entrances dirty like this. For such a high octane show, they usually don't have time to leave entrances like this. That's why I said they got to have a limited roster in the back this week. Shout out to Astrid with I gotta find some way to get my social medias up on the screen here if I can. 2 signs in the crowd in Chicago tonight. CM Punk, no flips, just fists. And the other one is, look in my eyes, what do you see? Where is Jack Perry? Oh, that is great. That is a great moment here. But I got a feeling that I saw the first UFC fight. I'm not sure that he has much of a way with fists. I'm giving you guys coins because there is no lies whatsoever in what you're saying here. It's funny because they had that whole rumor of Punk and Miro having that argument, which ended up being one of those sarcastic comments at a injury table. Whether it is or isn't, whatever, I don't really give to. But the fact that somebody thinks that Punk could actually beat up Miro, like, I think the only reason Ryan Nemeth didn't take Punk to school is the fact that, you know, salary for Nemeth, salary for Punk. I know personally I wouldn't be, I I wouldn't be costing anybody any extra money for that. If I was Nemeth, I don't want to lose my job. Looking at Penta, I'd love to see a huge Halloween AEW event, like old school Halloween Havoc type thing. Well, I know personally Halloween Havoc they can't do because patent everywhere. But I know that they did a Halloween, I think it was like a trick or treat battle royal or something one year when Halloween was on a Friday. Both guys just saying, yep, that's cool. But you can see Orange just favoring his neck, giving himself some time here. Not being in the best of moods. Oh, perfect. Just got the note from Pro Wrestling Tees that they have a sale starting on Friday once again for Labor Day. I didn't get into this one last week here because, well, frankly, I didn't have time to get at it. So I do plan on getting a shirt. You can do Holiday Havoc, yeah. Unfortunately, the courts usually see stuff like that as if it's close enough, you can't really copy it. I get it, Halloween versus holiday. That would be more of a Christmas episode, really. My friend that runs MATW is running Harvest Havoc. Let's put it this way. I don't think WWE is going to come suing MATW right now for the fact that they don't have that much money for that. And we just hit a commercial break, and it's a full one instead of... They showed us Penta fooling around in the ring with the crowd for picture-in-picture, but yet while the match is going on, they go full commercial on us. AEW production, figure this crap out. Come on now, buds. Oh, I know. There's been, I know one of our local promotions has downright copied Money in the Bank, Royal Rumble, even used the names. They even tried to run a show the night of the Royal Rumble and have a match called the Royal Rumble. Yeah, WWE ain't suing an indie company unless, they get any kind of traction whatsoever. Which usually is tough for those indies, right? All Elite, All Hallows Eve. I love how we have some geniuses here. And by the way, I will be taking some of these ideas and actually marking them down because, there is a possibility. Don't quote me on this because, frankly, I have been running around ragged trying to figure out what my fall schedule is going to be here, game-wise, with everything coming out. There is a possibility we could be getting into that custom WWE universe, WWE 2K23 universe that I was mentioning earlier in the year before the game came out. I really still want to do that. I just want to make sure that I can do it right if I can. Starfield, I'll go with this one. I'll be honest. I probably won't be playing Starfield, at least initially. Those kind of games just I don't get them. Like, for me, I'm not the big exploration type. Like right now, like tomorrow's stream, we're going to be doing Breath of the Wild. For me, that is like, if you would have seen me a year ago, I would never have gone for a game this long, open world like this. I haven't done a big open world game since San Andreas. I think that would probably be the last big open world game that I've played with any consummation of hours, addition of hours, commitment, whatever way you want to call it. I do want to get through that. right now, WrestleQuest, I've heard, is about a 60-hour game. And I might put that off for right now. I know we did the first couple hours of it. But I got a feeling we might just hold up on it for a little while. Because I can't handle these long-term games. Like it's bad enough that... I'm doing... Sorry about the cough there, guys. Street Fighter 6... I don't know what the hell happened there, but we'll go with it. Street Fighter 6 is bad enough. It's... Oh, Jesus! Penta going nuts here. Street Fighter 6 is 20 hours, and that's been rough enough for me. Talking about the story mode, right? It's weird enough I'm doing 2 games with a long story mode like that. It's really amazing that, you know, we don't realize how great of a talent Penta is because the fact he's always working with Ray Phoenix. Because we're always talking about how amazing Phoenix is. And personally, I don't see anybody being able to underestimate what Penta can do in the ring. And yes, I do realize he had most of a singles run in Lucha Underground, but at the same time, didn't come out perfect, but looked like it came out well enough. I'm going to predict it right now. Cassidy's going to retain, and we're going to close the show out on Moxley beating the living crap out of Cassidy. But yeah, as we were talking about oh, there we go. The voice is back. Thank you. Just a quick throw out there since I missed it during the commercial. Don't really play video games, but I have a similar issues with TV and movies, especially with the Hollywood strike and the flow of new things coming out slowing down. I'm looking for new things to watch, but if a TV series has too many episodes, I just can't commit. Yeah, like, I'll binge watch something. Like, I do plan on watching Ahsoka once more of the episodes come out. Because I am a bit of a Star Wars geek. I'm not a diehard like a lot of people, but I am a fan. As we get another picture-in-picture here. This is the third segment we're getting into. That's cool. I still have the Mario Brothers movie behind me that I still want to pop in here. I picked up the DVD because I heard so many good things about it. And yes, I'm a DVD guy when it comes to videos. While I respect streaming platforms, just having the cases just means a lot to me. Sort of like all the games that I have out there. My video game collection is starting to get big enough that I actually had to move my VHSs off my shelf behind me. Because as we get more and more game cases in, we're going to need more room for them. So I had to start moving things around. Things look a little empty right now, but I'm guaranteed they're going to start filling up really soon here. But yeah, in terms of, looks like Cassidy might actually legit be hurt. So they're stalling for time outside. Oh, Darth, you're heading out early? Okay. I appreciate having you here once again. I appreciate having all of you here once again. It's been a fun time. This one's been a very interesting Dynamite for the fact that we haven't had a lot of matches to talk about before or during, but we had a lot of matches to talk about otherwise. But yeah, we'll definitely see you, if not Saturday night, for our preview show for All Out. We will see you here next week, which is going to be my second last day of my first part of holidays this month. So that's what I was getting at earlier. We're going to get a few extra streams in this month here because, well, I got Sunday through Thursday off next week, and then starting I think it's the 22nd, I got I think it's the 22nd or something. I got like 10 days off. I'm all the way up to the AEW Wrestle Dream show is I'm off for that whole time. So we're going to have a ton of streams coming up. Plus, starting tomorrow, and yes, Jagger, you can fix this up tomorrow for next month. Subs are 25% off starting August 31st until September 31st. So, or they're 30% off if you book off 6 months at a time. So, but we'll deal with that coming up starting tomorrow. But that's actually for paid subs. So Prime stays the same, so you didn't miss out, Jagger. I just realized that as I read here. But it's a big push for September, and then October we're going to have... Jesus! Penta just destroying Cassidy here. But yeah, we'll have a lot of good things coming up here on the channel, so... Back to the match here. I do have to compliment Orange Cassidy on his long-term storytelling. Because every time he's out here, he's always showing that he's just a little bit more injured every single time. Just going to throw a snooze on here because they were going to show ads with about 5 minutes to go. So I'll just extend that a little bit. Really? Cassidy tried to slow things down. It just ain't working right now. I'm sorry. This is just, ugh. Oh my God. Canadian Destroyer there. Canadian Destroyer there. 3. 3 Canadian Destroyers back to back to back. Who's going to get the next one? Oh, went for Orange Punch. Penta Driver. That was impressive. 3 Canadian Destroyers. I just want to picture Jim Cornette watching this match and seeing that happen. And literally just like watching the steam come out of his ears. Because to me, I feel that's the only thing that would happen in that case. Just, you know, either that or some venom coming out of his mouth or something crazy. Oh, he just used a Vinceism. Excalibur. Use the Vinceism there. Don't know if he got all of it. Oy. Now he's going to try and break the arm. Oh, there's another way to break the arm. You can just stomp on it 6 million times. What does he do? What did he do there? Loosened up the knee pad there. Does he have an injured knee or something? Oh, no. Here comes... Oh, never mind. Package pile driver on the apron. Nope. Blocked beach break. There it is. All right, that's it. That's got to be it. The only thing that would have made this better is if it was one finger. Like, seriously, that's got to be scary than all hell, because you can't brace yourself whatsoever there. Well, there goes that arm. Are we gonna get this challenge now? What? Sneak roll up gets the win. Oh my God. That is hilarious. Just out of nowhere with the roll up. It plays up on the story, but I cannot see Mox not coming out to beat the crap out of him now. Either that or we're going to see Penta go heel here. Crowd seems dead. Yeah, like... It's a great story about what's going to happen here, but it's almost like it's what everybody expected. Ooh. Okay. Ha! Wow. Wow. Can I just say that Orange did more for character development in him in the last 2 minutes here than he's probably done in about 2 months? Could this be our main event? Could this be our main event for the pay-per-view? There's a chance. Because the amount of Did Punk get suspended? Well, I believe the exact official term is suspended pending investigation is what the official term is. So in other words, legal department and everything are looking through what happened. Even though Tony Khan was there, he's treating it like every other sports organization, and they are dealing with the situation, like I said, as a sports organization would do. They're holding back. They're going through everything. If they release him before Saturday, the rumor has been that it's going to be Ricky Starks and CM Punk for the Real World Championship again. But what if they don't have that? Jack Perry, well, right now he lost the championship. He can go away for a little bit here and refocus a little bit. So storyline wise, it's not going to hurt Perry for not being around for a little bit. But Punk in his hometown, this might speak volumes to AEW on many, many different levels. And we can talk about more about this on Saturday during the pre-show. We could honestly have a situation here where Punk is not in Chicago for one of their big shows. And if that's the case, what kind of reception does the show get? If they do a knockdown, drag out, absolutely great show, this could be the possibility here to say, nobody is bigger than AEW. No one man is bigger than AEW. No one woman is bigger than AEW. It's all about the action in the ring and what you perform at. Yes, I know Tony has to book better, but put that aside for about 10 minutes here. And just, this could be a very defining moment for the company. I know they said that last week for All In. Well, All Out could be just as defining as All In is. Because now that Tony Khan has made it official that this will be an annual thing, that they're going to be doing pay-per-views on back-to-back weeks. During the press conference, Tony Khan announced that he will be trying to make All In England a yearly tradition on their holiday weekend, while AEW gets theirs on their holiday weekend in the States for Labor Day. So in terms of what the rest of the card's going to be, we're only missing about 3 matches, I'm thinking, because we ended up with, we said we had 8 before, so we might end up with maybe 10, 11. They haven't announced anything for the pre-show or anything, or how they set that up yet, but it looks like they got pretty close to a full card already set. Now let's just see if they can throw some bangers in here in the middle. And just let's see what kind of match order we're going to get. I got a feeling that match on Saturday is going to dictate the trios match on Saturday with the women is going to lead to another title match with the 4 people that aren't in the TBS. Basically the same 4 women that were in the last show. They're going to get a rematch. So, all right, Yager, you have yourself a good night. We're going to be wrapping up here fairly quickly as well here. I got to get this uploaded to YouTube, and my God, even though, I've been off all day today, this heat makes you so tired. So we're just going to take it easy here tonight, upload a few more videos, get some more stuff rendered here. But all in all tonight, pretty decent show. We didn't have much for advance notice what was going on. Kommander had a little bit of a different style compared to normal, but he ended up falling to Moxley. We started to see the cracks between Shida and Baker as Statlander got the victory over Rose, Shafir, and Sakura. Orange Cassidy retains his championship. We get a lot of plotline pushing forward. Eddie Kingston continues his reign as New Japan Strong Openweight Champion over Wheeler Yuta. Claudio once again continuing the storyline between Kingston and Claudio, which honestly, if they threw that as the extra match into All Out, I wouldn't be disappointed either. But it's going to be interesting to see where they come up with on Sunday. So once again, join us on Saturday for the All Out preview show with myself and Andre C. Immediately following WWE Backlash. We'll be on here. We'll talk a little bit about the pay-per-view before, and then we'll get into All Out and see what our predictions are going to be on that. Next.